Yeah. One thing that I can say, I don't know if this is something that I was like this at one point, that I actually felt food was mine. Like, I'm not going to give up my chocolate, or I'm not going to give up my cheese, or whatever it is. Brian and I talked about this at length, and I've talked to my parents about it. Well, I'm not going to give up my orange juice. Like, when did it become yours, you know? And you're associating this could be unhealthy habit with something versus seeing it differently and separating yourself to, I'm going to be open to trying something new. Not that I have to get rid of that, but kind of making it a part of you when it really isn't. I know you kind of talk about that all the time.
It's like, I hear it regularly, like, oh, I couldn't give up my Cheez-Its. Those are my Cheez-Its. I love to have those before bed. And it's like, those Cheez-Its are for everybody. Not yours. But they've made this mental connection that it's part of them. It's a physical part of them. It's their ownership of something that is really just a piece of food, right? So you have to see it as a fuel source. Yes, it can be delicious. Yes, you can make it however you'd like, and you've got to try to keep it as clean as you can, but it's really not yours. It's not part of you as an ownership of, hey, this is my bottle of wine that I have on Saturday afternoon with the girls at the book club, all right? that bottle of wine was forever. So try to catch yourself, because that language that you're using is building a real network inside of you. That's a real thing that you're starting to create. And if you make those connections, you start to change yourself in a way beyond just appetite and craving. It starts to become a physical need. And that is what we call an addiction, right? So you have to be mindful of that type of a connection, because those connections turn into a lifetime of building of the wrong type of you.
Well,
just
to
touch on that too. You know, we will definitely talk a lot about through the challenge mindset. You know, and that's the same type of thing. Like, start paying attention to the thoughts in your head as you go through this challenge. You might find that you have a sort of pre-programmed, almost at this time, natural response to, you know, trying something new, or, you know, you feel overwhelmed and you automatically go, I can't do it, it's not for me, it's not going to work for me, it'll work for her but it won't work for me, you know, I'm the person that it's never worked for. Like, these stories that we get attached to and tell ourselves end up blocking you. So I think it's important to begin to be aware of those thoughts in your head. Sometimes they're very automatic, and you don't even realize that it's happening. So, you know, you're going to come up against challenges, you're going to come up against, you know, you're going to get uncomfortable. That's, you know, change. We just did on our newsletter for this month a whole piece about change and growth and transformation. The whole thing about change is that it's not that easy. You have to be uncomfortable. You know, you're getting out of your comfort zone. You know, the habits feel easy, they feel comfortable, they feel safe. So you sort of embrace feeling uncomfortable. Know that, you know, you have to get through that part to get to the other side. You know, and that's a part of change. And change is also, I think, sometimes people get really overwhelmed by the end goal. And we always say here, change is now. It's right here on this moment. This is one small choice you're making. So in this moment, focus on just that choice. Don't focus on, oh God, I can't have my potato chips again or my pizza again for a while. Like, focus on, okay, in this moment I'm going to choose to have the vegetables and the blah blah blah. You know, like, keep it incremental. It can help keep you from going to overwhelm. Changes right now in this moment is a series of making those choices that leads to the new you. You know.
I wanted to just read one of these quotes, and if you guys don't have one of the newsletters for this month, definitely grab one. I brought a few up here, you can take them, or they're also available back there. But we delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but we rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve that beauty. Okay, so think about that. You're like, oh wow, summertime, look at all these awesome butterflies. But you forgot, like, in the early spring, it's just this really ugly, hairy worm that was crawling around, and then it had to go through, like, had to eat half your garden, and then it went and hid for a little while and took a nice little nap. So it was like, hey, I just got introduced to this world. I don't know what's going on, but I know that I need to eat and I need to sleep and recover. And look what happened. It turned into this beautiful creature that everybody's looking at. So think about that and look at these quotes, because these are the types of things, if you put that up on your mirror at home, or you put it on your steering wheel of your car, like, those are the things that start to reinforce the mindset. Because, like Helena said, it's very easy to just kind of fall back into the, you know, I tried that before. I've done a diet before, and it didn't work for me. So just understand that there is an entire process that has to occur to create real change. And one day at a time makes a beautiful butterfly, and it can also make a beautiful blue. So taking small steps, it's really just the way it is. And cultivating that mindset. Your brain, your mind is like a garden. You have to feed it. You have to tend to it every day. You have to give it hydration. You have to constantly monitor it and pick out the weeds, because those weeds start to grow rapidly and will start to overwhelm that garden that you're trying to grow. So think of that. How can I start to weed out those negative thoughts, those negative just attitudes towards things? Like, sometimes you can walk into a room and, oh, that person's here, so, ugh, like, I don't even feel comfortable. Like, that's the time where you kill somebody with kindness. You go up to them and say, you know what, sometimes I've been rubbed the wrong way by you, but, you know, I'm happy you're here tonight. Like, that is taking a weed out from you, right? So cultivating that mindset, and that's just an example, but there's all different things that you can do throughout the day to reinforce and recultivate a new mindset, because we're constantly changing people. Change is now. We say it every day. It's our tagline. All right, so welcome to change.
Yeah, just to maybe even kind of wrap up
Yeah.
you guys. The idea of mindset, and I kind of wrapped up with this a little bit last time. We talked about this challenge last year, the last time we did it, and our change challenge too. When it comes to your mindset, everything that these guys said is amazing. Take it one step further beyond that. When you get in to do the work, when you're at home and you're chopping your vegetables, or it's Sunday night, or whatever it is, and you're trying to prep your food for the weekend, how do you talk to yourself? Is everything you do a pain in the butt? I mean, honestly, listen nowadays, guys. Honestly, kids, adults, all of us do it. We whine. We whine sometimes. We do, and I don't say that to anger anybody tonight, but seriously, ask yourself, am I just complaining sometimes? Is it really so terrible that I get to go to Evolution and push the sled down the turf? Or is it actually kind of fun? No, I'm serious. I'm serious, because I'm talking to and honestly, I should have started by saying that. I'm talking to myself first, okay? I mean that too, guys. Is it a pain in the butt that I have to go home and do a little bit more work tonight? Or is that awesome because it provides me with this amazing facility that we all get to have this amazing life together? Because I'm tired, I want to go home and eat and crash too, but I got to do a few more things before I get done tonight at home. Is that a total pain in the butt for me? Or am I privileged enough? I have a beautiful, smart, healthy brain that allows me to sit down at a computer, figure out how to write programs and get you guys good results and work out hard and have fun. Pardon my French for minutes, but is that a total pain in the ass? Or am I lucky that I get to do that? Do I have two beautiful arms and legs and a nose that breathes and works and lungs that take me up and down this when I work out? Or is every single thing I do so hard and I just can't get there and I don't have my results? This isn't working for me. That feedback loop, I didn't hear what you said.
Heather tonight, right?
That feedback loop that Brian talked about, that is very, very real, guys. Not just for your body and the food, but in here and in here. And what is our story we are telling ourselves? What are we reinforcing? Am I the worst at everyone, at everything? Am I the last to get picked? Do I stink at that? Well, that person pushes this like great. They got a 25-pounder on it. I don't. You know what? Enjoy being new at something. Enjoy being a beginner. Larry Hamilton is a huge big wave surfer, pro champion, tons of money, beautiful family, everything he's got, the whole life, right? He's got this whole thing that he lives his life by one mantra, which is embrace being new at something. Don't be afraid of it. Embrace it. That means that you're courageous, you're adventurous, you try new things, you put yourself in an environment that maybe you were scared of before. If you're fearful of sharks, he suggests studying about sharks and go get in the water with them. Figure it out. Like, and that's an extreme example. But take that, no, I'm serious, take that line of thinking and apply it to what you're doing here, because for some of you guys, going into the Shark Tank to study the shark is going to be the same thing as coming in and trying this first metabolic class. And some of you are right there, and that's okay. But embrace being the beginner. Embrace being new. Try something completely different. Trust us for 8 weeks. Go to that place. And again, is it a horrible hill that I have to climb? Or am I lucky enough that I have this body that works that I can figure out how to get up that hill? How do you go through life, man? That makes your mindset from the second you step out of bed makes your day. You make your day before you even leave the house. You do.
I would say too,